Hello guys, and welcome back to another FM26 Bath City video. You joined me just now as I've been speaking about my strikers not scoring a lot and having issues with goals, and I've received this email here. Loan roundup, Wilson scores again. So it looks like Wilson here out on loan is having quite a good time at Weston-super-Mare. Let's have a look. 16 games this season, 10 goals. Now, if I go to compare that to my team, my main goal scorer, as I would call him, which at the moment is, he's not here, Windsor. He's done 16 and 8, so they're quite similar. So maybe my striker's not doing as bad as I thought. Brad Ash here, 16 games, 6 goals, so they are chipping in here and there with goals. So something must be going right. Interestingly, this lineup's a bit of a mess, isn't it? I'll sort that out before the next game. So maybe our strikers aren't as bad as I thought they were. We don't have a lot of money left here at Bath anyway. I'm looking at renewing some contracts soon. Funnily enough, Wilson should be up at the end of the season. And I'm not sure if I renew his at 32 years old, especially, like I said, with Windsor, who's performing very similarly to him in the same league. We have got an injury update here. Zach Smith, expected to return in 8 to 9 months. Joe Rains is 2 to 5 weeks. And Jordan Gibbons, who we lost in our last game after subbing him on 10 minutes later, 4 weeks to 2 months. So we still really haven't got our starting right back in Rains or our backup right back for at least the next probably 4 weeks minimum. So we're going a month without another right back option. Our best option here being Matthews. I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that. Parcell here, looking a bit tired. Let's get Tomlinson on. Let's go to the combined. Swap Tomlinson and Battens. Position around. Out of possession. Let's do that there. So let's go back to our combined. And you'll see our lineup is here. Kessa Diallo, I'm sticking by him. I think Greenslade's great, but he plays a lot of games and it's good that they can share the load now. Matthews won't have that option. I don't really have a backup right back. You'll see a bit of an injury crisis, and Russ being a bit tired limits our lineup to what it is. Ash and Windsor have just discussed the potential of Wilson coming back and whether he'd be used, and I don't think he will, so I might allow Wilson to leave at the end of the year. Obviously he's out on loan now, but I don't think he'll return to play for my squad. I've been reviewing my squad and thinking, if I stay in this league, who am I going to want to keep? Who am I going to want to get rid of? And to be honest, I'm not a man who likes to completely overhaul a squad. I like to, like I said, keep it reasonably realistic. I know in these lower leagues it is realistic to turn up every season with almost a brand new starting 11, the amount of transfers that happen in the lower league. But I watched Bath last season, and obviously I've watched them this season, and most of their starting lineup did stay the same. I mean, Windsor's new, but Ash was with us on loan last season and we kept him. Jenkins Davies we signed this season. I think we might have had him on loan last season, I can't remember. Beardmore we had on loan and then signed him permanently. Sweeten's obviously our own youth player. This is a guy I signed on my own, so ignore that. Tilson we had last year, Batten we had last year, Tomlinson we signed last year, Wiles Richards. Parcell's been with us a while, you know, you're getting the point. We tend to, Bath City do normally have a structure in their squad, and they almost have a spine, especially of Greenslade, Parcell, Tilson, some of the older players. And they actually, when Jerry Gill left, they actually took over the training of it and over the manager duties whilst we didn't have anyone. So it shows that these older players are key for the team, and I like to keep on that. The likes of Fish, I might keep him around next year, similar to Horsell, shove him in the under-21s because he's not going to play for me. I might look at getting him to be a coach. I think I want Horsell to actually be my assistant manager. That feels like, in this scenario, in this FM26 save I'm doing, it feels like he effectively is my assistant manager. So we're starting here, we're off a bad run of form. We've lost 3 games in a row, 2 of those being in the league, and obviously our FA Cup loss to MK Dons. So we're hoping to get back to winning ways, and it's a good game to come up against Horsham. and that's a good start there. But last time we played Horsham, I believe we beat them 5-0, and that was on the away fixture. So we're at home this time, and hopefully we see a similar performance. That's why I felt comfortable. I've put out a strong squad because we need to get back to winning ways. I didn't look at where Horsham were in the table. They could have been playing really well and just I beat them 5-1, but hopefully not. But that's an early injury, it looks like, for a Horsham player there. Miles Meekums. And he looks like he might be coming back on. He might not even be getting subbed here. Should have kept the ball in play if he's not gone off. But 10 minutes in, we start here from a Wiles Richards goal kick. Starting in goal again, he is the main keeper. I feel like Binns needs to go out on loan, potentially next year. Should have probably looked at it earlier this season. Like I said, with Horsau in the under-21s, he would have been more than capable to be my substitute keeper. It's not often one of your keepers will get ruled out for a long time from injury, so I'm sure we would have coped well with only having one of Wiles Richards or Binns. But that's a good ball forward to Windsor in the box. He squares that, laid off, and whiffed over the bar by Sweeton. And this is what I talk about every game. We get opportunities, we just can't put them in the back of the net. So we're coming up 15-minute mark. It's looked quite equal this game so far, us having the actual chances, but possession-wise it's been quite equal. And like I say, we need to start taking domination of this possession. Beardmore, a good guy to take it over in midfield. Jenkins-Davies, Keta Diawa, really getting more and more forward. And that is a great save by Duncan in the Horsham net to keep the game at 0-0. Windsor whipping it in. Claimed well by Duncan. Looks like a very small keeper looking at this now. I thought Wiles Richards was a small keeper. He might have been beaten there by Duncan, but that's a good throw out. Can Horsham spring an attack here? Miles Meekums went down injured. We kick the ball out. He's perfectly fine. Miles Meekums again plays it down the line. And this is the problem sometimes without playing wingers. Your wing back's very isolated out there. There's a good block and a good save there. Easily caught by Wiles Richards. He'll roll that out to Tomlinson. We do like to play out from the back. Sweeton picks it up deep in midfield. Sweeton's a very important piece to my puzzle in this team. Good rotation for Russ. Good rotation for the likes of Beardmore. He's a good all-round player to have, especially playing the diamond midfield. Sweeton can play in each and every one of the roles within those four midfielders. Coming up to the 25th minute here. It's been a very equal game looking at it. We're dominating possession a bit, but Horsham's had a few more chances. Our chances have been better with a higher XG from them. And we've given away a free kick on the edge of our box here to Horsham. Murphy plays that smartly short. Gravata picks up the ball. He's going to shoot over the bar. Good little free kick routine there. We've obviously practiced that on the training ground. Just after the half-hour mark, looks like our best player's been Jenkins-Davies. I've not seen many highlights from him, so it must be what he's doing when we're not watching, which he's doing well. Miles Meekums again. He's going to annoy me all game because of that fake injury. It's brought his team some time, I think. Adapted to our tactic. Almost won there by Matthews, but knocked straight back. There's Miles again to Hammond. Hammond back to Barker. Barker plays it forward. It's good football there. I think that's a block, so that must be a corner to Horsham. And that's the end of that highlight. Horsham look like they're starting to take control. They've gained that possession back to almost a 50-50. They've had the more opportunities still, but we've had the better of the opportunities, with that XG being quite high. I know I spoke about it before the game, but my strikers need to start scoring. They'll be the first to be replaced next season because, as I keep saying, if you look at the league table, goals against, we're one of the lowest. Goals for, one of the highest, but if you take away our two victories of a 5-0 and a 5-1, that takes away 9 of our goal difference, really. But it's quite an equal first half, as you can see. Nothing really going. I'll address the team. I think we've done okay. We've done well. But we just need to take control of this game. I think if this tactic's not working soon, you know, I do have the likes of Alves on the bench. I could bring wingers in, push Jenkins-Davies wide. Will he be more effective from that wide spot? Do I look at my team and start giving them roles now? Now we start to learn the formation. Should Jenkins-Davies become, for example, a second striker, an advanced playmaker? Because at the moment, he's just an attacking mid. There's no real roles to it. But that's how I've built my team. Very non-league. Very much keep it simple. You know, there's a reason we're a non-league team. There's a reason we're not professionals. I've brought in my tactic here. Bath in real life play a bit of a 4-2-3-1. Our manager Darren Till, I think his name is, Darren Till, can't remember his name. When he started, he first took us over, he would play a 5-back, and the City fans hated it. He used to get abused every week for his formation. Finally gave in and went to a 4-2-3-1, and in fairness, we do look better for it. So I think if I was Bath City manager in real life, they wouldn't like me because of my formation. But I suppose if I had these results, they'd think I'm a hero. The fact that Bath City are up near the playoffs as one of the only non-professional teams. We're coming up against teams who train all week. They have hotels when they play away games. You know, we have Reigns missing games because he's doing his other job. You know, that's the struggles of non-league. I'm sure that happens for a lot of teams. It's not just Bath, but we are one of the only remaining non-professional teams in our league. We're coming up to about the 60th minute back. The game still is quite equal, and a few of my players are looking quite tired. So I think it's time I look at making some changes. Windsor and Bash tired. I'm going to bring on Alves, actually, for Brad Ash today. Fish doesn't do too much for me. Parcel's a bit tired, but I will take Keto off. Full Green say the typical substitute here. And I will take also Beardmore off for Bauman. I think Bauman, he's okay in this game. In real life, he's probably better than he is on this game in terms of the Bath City squad. He's quite close to the Bath City level in real life. You know, he's joined us, he's made a few cameos, hasn't looked too bad. But on this game, they seem to think he's just a lot worse than anyone else on the team. That's a good ball down the side of our defence, but well cleared by Bauman there. But it's foul back. A few shots come in. Easy save by Wiles Richards there. Coming up to the 65th minute. I do have 2 subs left. I do have Windsor absolutely shattered on the pitch. So I think Fish is going to be coming on around the 70th minute anyway. In fact, I'm going to call it now. Windsor, a very tired man. On comes Fish. I don't think Alves is a very happy man in our squad. He's being played out of position. You know, he's not really getting game time, and when he does, he's being chucked either at right wing back, left wing back. He's been chucked up top a couple of times. He's a guy I'd be, in my current situation and formation, I'd be happy to see him leave. He's a good player in real life, scores good free kicks for Bath City. But really, on this game, he doesn't suit my team, he doesn't suit my style, and that's nothing to do with him. Normally, I would lean towards a 4-2-3-1. I could look at a 4-1-2-1-2, I suppose, and have a left mid and a right mid and play Alves on the right. But here we go. We're coming up to the 80th minute. I'm going to make my last sub, which is going to have to be a defensive one. It's going to be Parcel, to be honest. And he's going to come on for... Oh, you know what? He's actually going to come on in defensive mid for Tilson. As we approach the last 10 minutes of the game, it's a Horsham goal kick. Going from beating them 5-0 at their own ground to now still being at 0-0 coming up to the last 10 minutes is quite poor for us here. And here we go. We really are in, coming up to the last 9 minutes. And it's a good tackle for Sweeten. Sweeten keep that ball to Alves, to Matthews. Matthews now to Alves. Alves, you're meant to be more up top, mate. He's already drifting out towards where he normally would be on that right. He's comfortable on the ball, Alves. He is a good, really good player. Someone will sign him and he will do them good. But that's a really poor ball. Fish really should have ran onto that, got that, but he hasn't. I'm going to push us to an attacking mentality. We really need to use this game to start getting back on winning ways. I mean, a draw's better than a loss at this stage. Like I said, a run of poor form, 3 losses on the bounce for Bath after a good stint of wins in a row. A point's a point, but there are teams around us who could push us out the playoffs if we keep playing the way we are, especially. That's a good ball down the wing to Rodriguez, and Greenslade is in. Greenslade by far the preferred left wing back choice at the moment, although I will keep going with Keto, but I may look into the tactic more. There may be an episode shortly that is focused based on me building my tactic and adding some roles in and having a look at some of my players and deciding what's best, not just for my tactic but maybe for individual players. Keto might do better if I deliberately ask him maybe to cut inside. Maybe he wants to be an inverted wing back, because whenever I put him in midfield he's actually done okay, so maybe inverting him and then offering the likes of Sweeten or Bowman or even Beardmore when I play him in centre midfield to push out wide, and when we attack we sort of rotate and we become a back two as we already are, and the wing back tucks into midfield, but then Sweeten goes out wide or Beardmore goes out wide, and it gives us a different dynamic to the attack. But here we are, we're coming up to the 90th minute. Not many more chances will be coming. I'm not sure there's going to be much extra time in this game. But Horsham now playing it round. Philpott, Rodriguez. It'll be to Philpott again. It'll be to Rodriguez again. It is cleared just by Bath, but it comes back to them. And in the dying minutes, Bath City almost conceded, but a good save. We're into 3 minutes of stoppage time now. Can anyone, anywhere, grab a winner? At the moment, Horsham looking the more likely with an attacking corner here. Ball gets swinging towards the back post, easily clear, but it does fall. And it looked like that was a shot that's been blocked, and it's another corner for Horsham, but that's going to lead to nothing. And we're into the last 50 seconds now. City have one final push to try and get the winner here. Batten, you do not want to be slowing the game down here and then giving it away like that. Good tackle though from Bowman. Can we get one last chance in the dying minutes? It goes to Sweet and Jenkins Davies. Alves. Great play there. And now it's a corner in the last 15 seconds of the game. If I'm on the pitch side, Wiles Richards is in that box, but he's not. Greenslade on a set piece this time. Ball comes in. Fisher keeps it alive. Greenslade now to Fish. Fish back to Greenslade. What are they doing? And that will be the full-time whistle. So we avoid a loss in a game we should be winning. But sadly, we didn't have enough for Horsham today. I call it a very, very equal game here. We've had a few okay performances in there, but I really feel like we're struggling to score still. I'm going to say I'm disappointed with that. Very disappointed. I made that 4 games on the bounce now. We haven't won a game. We still do sit in 6th with 28 points. But that is 15 points behind Dagenham. The league's won by Dagenham. Our focus should be staying in these playoffs. But teams below us, we're on 28. All the way down to 16th, there's only a 7-point gap. There's a bigger gap between 6th and 1st than there is between 6th and bottom half of the table. Alves fouls to end his garbage route. I don't think this is his fault, like I've been saying. My lineup's not built to fit a player like him in, so he can take no blame. Our next match will be in the FA Trophy against Margate. This will be a time where I'll rotate the team, and I will plan to put Horsau in goal for that game. So I look forward to that. Thank you for joining me again. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.